How's it going, everyone? Hope you're doing good. We just thought that we would put together a little video talking to you about what comes after the Bedford project. As you all know now, it's finished, it's all wrapped up, and frankly, we're done talking about it for a while. It's all that our brains have been consuming for the last 3 or 4 years. And we're done. We're so done with it. So no more questions about the Bedford for a while, please. It's finished. You can go and watch the series. We'll leave the link for you. No more Bedford. So we thought we'd come to this little swimming spot today and just talk to you about what comes next for us, really. So in this video, we're going to tell you what's happening with the LDV, what our plans are for this year, and what our future plans are. We've got a lot of them, so let's get started.
The most exciting news, for us at least, is that our Series 2 of our Hot Springs programme has been approved. We've got the green light, we're going away filming, we leave in mid-September. Amazingly, it was the 3rd most popular documentary on NHK Premium last year, which is mind-blowing, to be honest. I still can't get over that fact. So you know what that means. We've got to get the LDV back on the road, and we're going to be travelling further than ever before. I don't think we're allowed to tell you the details yet, it's all strictly under wraps. I don't know when we're going to be able to tell you the details, but trust me, the journey is going to be amazing. So the LDV.
What can we tell you about the LDV?
It passed its MOT first time last month, which was a bit of a surprise, but we did do a lot of work on it beforehand, getting the brakes sorted and the steering, and managed to get it out of limp mode. I don't know if any of you guys remember, our van has been in limp home mode, like reduced fueling mode, for several years now, which makes driving a little bit slow and painful, doesn't it?
Ever since we hit this bump. He's not happy.
Oh no, what does that mean?
Flashing orange light, I've got no idea.
So it's amazing to finally have that fixed, and it only cost us about £100 in the end, which was a bargain. We thought it was going to cost thousands.
It's sounding so sweet now. The engine is just like it was when we got it back in 2015. It just sounds fresh,
yeah,
and full of life.
Runs great, but the main problem is everything else around the engine. The bodywork is crumbling and rusting away. We've just had our weld around for the last 3 days working on restoring all the different panels that are leaking and rusting through, and the more we stripped away, the worse it looked. Isn't that always the way with vans?
Last year it was beyond economical worth redoing the welding and fixing it up.
It still
This
is.
year it most certainly is. It's worse than ever. The welders said that van has maximum 12 months left in it.
Maybe squeeze 24, but I think this is going to be our seminal trip together.
But we've said that so many times, so this might not be the last trip, but we sincerely hope that it will be and expect that it will be.
So with that, I think maybe we'll just show you guys exactly what we've been up to with the repairs on the LDV. Where do we begin? Well, around this side, one of the first things we had to fix when we got back from our last trip was the door. A certain someone, who shall remain nameless and blameless, ended up smashing the window when the keys got locked into the van. Ben?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm not agreeing with that. That's not fair. Yes, I smashed the window, but there's more to the story, guys.
So
Lucy locked the keys in the van, not me. It's a lie.
But basically it was too complicated to think about changing the glass, so we ended up driving up to Bristol to get a whole new door and fit it, because LDV parts are getting really hard to find now, aren't they?
Really are.
So we got that sorted, window instead of some Perspex. We have fixed the brakes. They're never 100%. I put them at about 70 to 80 right now, and that's mostly thanks to our new master cylinder. What is this, number 6?
I think it's the 6th or 7th, yeah, definitely.
They just keep breaking. They're so badly manufactured and unreliable, and our van's just awful. So yeah, new brakes, they're working quite well. Over here, anyone who did watch the last series of the programme would have seen that we broke down outside of Toulouse, and it ended up being a little electrical gremlin that took us a few hours to work out. And it was this main wiring loom that goes through the engine. I don't know why it goes over the top of the engine. It should obviously be out of the way of the vibrations, but it chafed through and was shorting out against some metal. So we kind of like bodged that with a plastic bottle cap and some electrical tape, but we've since got my dad to go through it and sort it out thoroughly, get rid of any gremlins and tape it up nice and secure, so hopefully we won't be having that issue again.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, so underneath the van as well, we had a what do you call it, juddering for quite a while when you take off the first gear or reverse. It's really unpleasant, and sometimes
We thought the engine was loose, didn't we? We
Yeah,
thought the engine
we
mounts
did.
were buggered, basically.
Turns out it was the gearbox mounts, and turns out they're actually really easy to change, aren't they?
Yeah.
Had that done in about half an hour, I think, and no more juddering, which is awesome. And it also persistent issues with the steering as well. Again, a recurring theme with this van, with the brakes. So we changed both of the drop link arms, and that, I think, it really helped our van to sail through its MOT last time, because they were bad. In fact, I think one of them has been hanging off since we were last in France. But yeah, that's a lot better. We've still got a few things to sort out with the steering, like the kingpins. They need a good old grease, which is something we'll tell any LDV owner that you need to stuff them with grease, because otherwise you're going to end up changing them and taking the whole axle out again.
And that's
which no
not
one-
fun, is it?
No one wants that. So we go inside the van and out of the wind. Now, excuse the mess. It is a bit of a mess, so make no apologies. We've been super busy in here. One other thing I did want to mention about the engine as well is the ECU, and you've probably seen us shouting about this on like our Instagram stories. The speedo's working! But we are so happy that our van is finally not in limp mode, and all it took, about 3 years of investigation and a new ECU, and we got a spare one that had the same codes on it as our old one, second hand, got a man to come round and copy the programming over, job done, it's out of limp mode. And even better, since we fixed the wiring loom, the odometer's actually working, because for the last 3 years it's been stuck on 151375. That's how long it's been on there.
God only knows why we didn't do this sooner, Lucy.
I know.
We knew the problems existed and we just didn't do anything about it.
I know.
But in fairness to it, it did survive a whole journey to Santorini back
Yeah.
last year.
A slow journey.
A slow journey, but nonetheless it did it. So this year we're going to be rapid, bro. We're going to be cruising down those motorways, flying.
What do you think our van's on now? Must be close to 200,000 miles, surely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We've done about like over 100,000 in it since we got it about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've also been busy on the inside of the van. I've been doing lots of little housekeeping jobs, like sorting out our cupboard shelves. They were almost completely collapsed under the weight of all the tins of baked beans we had, and the various like damp and moisture that comes in and just generally ruins everything that's inside of the van. And speaking of moisture, we've had a lot of leaks. We always have leaks, but the ones lately have been horrendous, haven't they? At one point we bailed about 8 saucepans of water out of the van overnight that were leaking in from the side door. But luckily that's all been welded up now. We had the weld around for about 3 days this week, and he welded on an entirely new panel above the side door, which my dad and I went and cut out of a donor LDV in the scrapyard, which weirdly the bodywork was in much better condition than our one. So cut this entire panel out, got the welder to weld it in, looks great. You would hardly even know that it was there. But we did have another leak on the other side of the van above the kitchen, which was also gushing in water. And we decided against welding it simply because we would have had to take the entire kitchen unit out and strip all the carpet off the roof that's there, and it would have been a huge process, the insulation as well. So we agreed that he was going to plate it. Unfortunately, it would have just been nice if maybe the plates matched up a bit. It looks a little bit like we've done it.
Yeah. We don't want to make this video too negative, but we'll show you in a second what it looks like, and you guys can make up your own mind.
Yeah. So we're getting close to the end of the repairs on the LDV. I mean, it's truly a never-ending list, you know. But we've only got a few more things to sort out now. One of the main things is the flooring underneath me. It was marine ply. I think it's now more like black paper. It's completely disintegrated from the many years of leaks we've had coming in from the side door. So we're going to have to strip the whole flooring out from the living area and the lino and relay that. So that's a job for this week. We've also got to fit some new seat belts because our ones aren't really working very well, and no one wants that when you're driving.
Let's be honest here with everyone, they didn't work barely on the last trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had one seat belt I think on the passenger side between two seats that
Yeah.
worked. And sometimes that didn't work either.
No, because you have to really ram it in there, so we're going to just change those entirely, make it a bit safer to drive.
Yeah.
And then we just got a few like aesthetic things we wanted to do, like the worktop. We really want to just sand that back and give it a fresh coat of oil, make it look a bit lighter, because it's really dark in this van, and that's also in part due to our terrible lights. It's a bit of a a sore subject, because anytime we try and film in the van, you can probably see it now, these little buggers are flickering. Flickery, bright white, horrible light, like you're in some kind of horror film and an asylum. We hate them. Cannot wait to get these lights changed for some warm white lights that hopefully don't flicker. So that's kind of the last of the jobs, I think. Just making the interior a bit more pleasant, a bit more livable, because we're going to be doing many thousands of miles in it this autumn and winter.
So we've now got about a month to 5 weeks to get this completely sorted out. Nice and safe to drive again, and just feeling a bit more like a home inside. We're really close to it now. We've just got a few final things to sort out, and then we're back on the road, guys, and we cannot wait to start sharing you what we're going to be up to. It's going to be better than ever, we promise. So let's get back to the other video. So as you can see, tons of work's been going on with that LDV recently, but it's so close to being finished and roadworthy once again. So this year we're going to be going further than we've ever been in this van again. And it's really exciting because it's somewhere we've tried to go to before, but we ran out of money and a very inconvenient global pandemic got in the way. So this year we're determined that that's not going to happen, and we're going to make it. So once we get there and the filming's finished, we're going to be three little birds in this country that we've wanted to go to for a long time.
Yeah.
And then the real fun's going to happen, I think.
The freedom.
Because we'll be back in control of everything that we film, everything that will be going onto our YouTube channel. We're going to be making travel videos again really, really soon. Hopefully by the end of the year they'll start coming up on the YouTube again.
That's it. I mean, I think we've just realised that we haven't actually posted any travel vlogs for about 2 or 3 years now. I mean, it feels like it was, you know, last year. This whole pandemic has been a whirl. In fact, the last few years have, with everything we've been doing. But I feel like our filming style's improved, our presenting style's improved. We've managed to buy loads more new equipment, and we're just going to be making the most, hopefully, fantastic videos for you guys once we're free to travel again.
So yeah, we're going to be way out of our comfort zone in some of these countries, really pushing the boundaries of what we think we can do.
Totally new experiences.
It's exciting stuff.
It's going to be amazing.
And honestly, we can't wait to share it with you. But this really is all just kind of a build-up for another future trip we've got planned in a completely new van. We briefly mentioned it in the past, but a lot of you probably wouldn't have seen those videos. So we do have already a new van that we are planning to travel in. We just haven't told anyone what it is yet, unless you check out at Patreon.
And we're still not going to tell you.
But we're still going to keep it under wraps because we don't really want to show you until we're ready to sort of work on the van. It's going to be a long way off yet.
It's going to be a big project, converting it and getting it ready for what we want to do in it, but I think ultimately it's going to make a pretty insane travelling vehicle. And again, in that, we're planning to travel further than ever before. We're going to be leaving Europe way behind in the dust and exploring totally new horizons. So we've got a lot to look forward to. I don't think we plan on stopping travelling anytime in the near future. It's just how we fund it. And of course on Patreon we're going to be sharing as much of the behind the scenes of this filming with the TV company as possible. So make sure, if you're interested, that you come and check us out on there.
Yeah, definitely.
We're really excited for our future travel plans. I hope you guys are excited about it as we are, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. So I think with that, it's time to go for a swim.
I reckon so. See you later, everyone.
Cheers.